Hey, what's up everyone? Today I wanted to make a red-purple Luffy deck from the starter deck 10. Um, it's pretty good. That being said, it's not going to be anything anywhere close to what it's going to be in OP05. In OP05 we get Zoro Juro and all of the new Wano Straw Hat cards, which is going to make the deck much better, including like 5 cost blocker kid and stuff like that. But the deck is still very fun to play right now. Um, you know, it's fun. Without further ado, I'll just get into it. So the leader, basically, if your field has 0 Dawn or your board has 8 Dawn, you can add a Dawn from your Dawn deck active. And the 0 Dawn effect does not have any meaning or use to us right now because we're not in OP05, but when the secret rare Luffy, the 10 drop comes out in OP05, what happens is you clear your board and your Dawn, so you go back to 0 Dawn, then this card would instantly boost you to 1, and then with Luffy's effect, the 10 drop, I think you can get another one right away so that you can kind of accelerate your Dawn back from 0 rather than just instantly losing after playing the 10 drop, which is really nice. And then if your board has 8 or more Dawn, you can set it one as active as well. So if you have 8 Dawn going into your turn, you can instantly get 9 and then drop a Whitebeard or something like that. Or if you have 9 Dawn, you can instantly get 10 and drop a Luffy. That's basically it. With the leader ability, also has 6k attack with 3 life. 3 life hurts pretty bad, especially without 4 radical beams and stuff like that they have in the, Japanese TCG over there. 4 new gates would also be really nice, but that card is kind of a problem, to be fair. So anyways, let's get into the list. We've got 3 Rush Zoros. It's really nice to have a body on the field that can swing constantly, and he kind of acts like a blocker eventually because people don't want to leave him on the field too often. Blue and black don't really care because they'll just bottom deck or destroy it, but other decks kind of are forced to swing into it at a certain point, otherwise it will really rack up some damage. 1 new gate, amazing card for this deck, gives the leader plus 2k, and then the life effect doesn't matter. But Dawn X2 when attacking, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 3000 or less power. Kind of just KOs a blocker immediately because most blockers have 3000 power or less. There are like the Sanjis, the Sabos, and stuff like that, but it will do a really good job against the low cost blockers as well. We've got 3 Rush Luffy, unblockable, because, unblockable cards are really silly. I even had Diable Jambe and stuff like that in this deck before because it works with the leader, but this is just a good substitute for the most part and gets another body on board and also acts like a blocker because people try to out this card immediately no matter what the cost. We've got 3 10-drop Rush Luffy. After your opponent activates a blocker, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 8000 power or less. Now, unfortunately, if they do block this attack, you cannot just instantly KO the blocker and the attack keeps going through. The block effect happens first, so they do block the attack into the blocker, then you can KO a different enemy. I believe that's how it works. We have 2 7-drop vanillas just because 7 is a really interesting number of Dawn that we have constantly, and if we don't see Kid, we need to see something else to make the best of our turn. Also, if we have 9 Dawn, then this 7-drop leaves enough for Hell's Judgment or 2 guard points, stuff like that. A lot of the times you don't want to expend every single one of your Dawns because you need something to play defense, which is usually your events. So that's mostly the reasoning behind that card. We've got 4 Sasakis. It's a 2k counter, and Dawn X1 when attacking, you can trash 1 card from your hand and add 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. Going to be completely replaced by Zero Drew and a few other cards when those come out, but for now it's a good Dawn ramp and 2k counter if you don't happen to draw Basil or the other event. We've got 4 Basil, trigger on play, add 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck and rest it. Really good. Really strong as a trigger if you hit it early. Really insane. Could be nice if it was a 4-3 instead of a 4-2, because you can't really attack with it feasibly most of the time. So that's the only drawback to it. We've got 4 2k counters, X Drakes, on play, -1 Dawn when your opponent trashes 1 card from their hand. Really good effect. I don't typically use it all that often. It's mostly used as a 2k counter, but it's also a good, decent body on the board if you need to use it for any reason, or if your opponent's getting really greedy with their hand, or if their hand is really small, then it can be really good as well. 4 9-drop Kaidos because it's just like an insanely absurd card. On play, Dawn -5, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. This character gains Rush during this turn. Now, Something I realized a few minutes ago is this card always gets rush as long as you do the Dawn -5 effect. You don't have to KO anything necessarily. So, wow, really good card, one of the best in the deck. I had 4 Luffys, the 10 drop, but I definitely think Kaido is much better, and he gives you more Dawn to work with as well. So, yeah. We've got 4 Queens blocker on play, Dawn -1, draw 2, trash 1. One of the best blockers in the game, that's why it's like $30, so if you don't have a playset of these, I apologize. We've got 2 blocker law from the starter deck. If your opponent has 7 or more cards in your hand, you may trash 2 cards from their hand. This card comes into play a lot with this deck because you're going to be swinging at their life with big numbers, so they're probably not going to be countering their whole hand out to out the attack. So that being said, your opponent is going to accumulate big numbers from taking cards from their life, so then you can just kind of slam one of these down after you attack, and it becomes all the more worse for them. Also good against stuff like Crocodile if they're using Miss All Sunday and stuff like that. If you know they have a red rock that they're going to add to their hand, you can wait until they have 7 and then try to get it out. Only a 2 of 7 chance, but still a chance regardless. We've got 4 7-cost Kid, on play / when attacking, Dawn -1, up to one of your leader, gains plus 1000 power until the start of your next turn. This is a problem card that people need to out immediately, otherwise they kind of just lose. 7000 power leader every single turn is really brutal, and it could be a 9000 power leader one turn, just for one turn, if you happen to drop the Kid into the 9-beard, which feels really good. Really amazing card. I can't believe it's on play and when attacking. Insane. We've got 1 Radical Beam, would max it out if we could, but we only have 1. 4 guard points, same reason as Radical Beam, just a really good 1-cost event with a lot of defense. 3 Hell's Judgments. Dawn -1, give up to 2 of your opponent's leaders or characters minus 3000 power during this turn. So decks that kind of flood their boards with a lot of bodies and do small attacks, this kind of just completely invalidates their turn oftentimes because they want to swing like 5 at life, 5 at life, 5 at life. Well, now you can just be like, oh well, 2 can't swing now, and if they already attached their Dawn and everything, then the 5k body can't swing without an extra Dawn, stuff like that. So it can just completely invalidate people's turns at times. So it's really amazing. And also the trigger is really strong against Katakuri and stuff like that. If your opponent has 6 or more Dawn cards, your opponent returns one of their Dawn cards to their Dawn deck, so effectively -1 Dawn from your opponent's curve. So really helps against, you know, basically 10 drop Big Mom and cards like that. We've got 4 Lead Performer Disasters. Main, draw 1 card, then add 1 card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. And the main thing that you use this deck for is the trigger, because it's really nice. But if you don't see the trigger in the life, then it still works functionally anyways. So basically, going turn 1, you either want to see Sasaki, Basil Hawkins, or this event to ramp your Dawn up, and then you just kind of profit from there. You want to drop the 7-cost Kid as fast as possible, and then that allows you to play like the Kaido, the Newgate, etc. So that's a list. I'm rambling a little bit, not the best, feeling kind of sick today, so sorry about that, but I hope you guys enjoy the list. Even though we usually want to go second, just because we want to interrupt that deck as much as possible, for sure. Not the best hand, not the worst hand. I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan, and I'm happier with that. Not happy, happier. He plays Jinbei, which is not great for me. I'm just going to swing 9 at life. Not going to allow him to use his leader effect on anything that I have. I'm gonna take that because I like to take the first life. No trigger, unfortunately. Now he can play Law if he wanted to, which is not great. He swings 5 into 6, which I'm fine with. Okay, cool. He passes with that. I think I'm going to go the... interesting. I'm gonna go 7 at life here, and if he takes, I'll play Law, and if he doesn't take, I'll play the event. He's probably gonna take. takes, so I'll play Law. And I'll pass. He swings 6 at life, reducing Law by 2, I'm assuming. And I'm just gonna block, because I know he's gonna be gone in a second anyways. Swings another 6 at life. I'll go Basil. Swings another 6 at life. I'll go Queen. Don -3 to play Penguin and Sachi, I'm guessing. Nope, plays a Brook, which is fine. I'm gonna go the 4 cost event into 7 at life. He counters out of it. Interesting. I'll pass. Plays a Rush Luffy and swings 6 at life. I'm gonna go ahead and I don't even need to Hell's Judgment it because he has no more attacks. I'll just Sasaki. Not a great play from him there in my opinion. I'm gonna go ahead and 7 cost Kid, ramp another Dawn, and swing 8 at life, I think. I don't think I really need to get rid of the Luffy. I'm gonna pass. Swing 6 into 7, and that will resolve with nothing happening. Swings 3 into 7, which will also resolve with nothing happening. Plays Gordon. Now he's gonna bottom deck the Kid and play some card. We'll have to see. He goes 8 at life. I'll just go ahead and Hell's Judgment, Luffy, and Leader. Swing 7 at life with Zoro. I'll take. I will use this Basil as a trigger because I need another body on the board. Plays Blocker Law. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna go seven at life. He takes, which makes this really easy for me, because now I can just rush Luffy. Rush Luffy, 10 at life, GG. Yep. Good game to him. Really, really close game. If I didn't have Rush Luffy there, I would have been screwed, and if he used his blocker first, potentially he could have won. Just interesting sequencing there. I wasn't sure which to do first either, so no fault to him. Well, good game to him. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.